What's going on, everybody? Eric Lindquist at Stochastic here on the Odd Shopper channel, coming to you with another edition of Ladies, Leans, Likes, and Locks. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell. Goes a long way for me on this video. Goes a long way for you. That way you become a prize whenever great content is going live here at our little neck of the YouTube woods. What an absolute smash this morning was. Let me just go out and count the ways. If you're in the premium Discord, you already know. You already know. But other than the hook, which we lost by Captain Hook, Baltimore, Tampa Bay, Gunnar Henderson hits a garbage time home run top of the ninth. Did not enjoy that to ruin my under of 8.5. We got the Jake Fraley home run, which was massive, massive. Also ended up on Cincinnati -1.5. Also was on the over of that Chicago and Pittsburgh game. Lovely stuff across the board to start it off. And of course, the Arizona lock came through early. We are sweating our balls off right here. Like this is 120 humid in Death Valley kind of situation. We've got Oakland and Cleveland 4-4, bottom five, but after being down 4-0, I will take it. This is going to be a fun one, a fun sweat towards that 1.5, which I thought was a great play. Hopefully, our guy Williams can finish this thing out, but hopefully you can check out BetMGM. That's a great thing to be doing because, well, I want you to have exposure to all the sports books in all the land, so you can always find the best number, always be playing that as opposed to, I don't know, inferior numbers and just giving money away. So if you want to go to that comment section below, sign up for BetMGM. You'll also get my betting card, which June has been a good month for Eric. I know it warms up everywhere in the country in June, but like this has legitimately been the best 3-week stretch of baseball I've had in probably 2.5 years, which is just wild to say out loud with how bad the season had started off. We are in the green. Everybody can verify that. I can show you the proof. It's on the spreadsheet. It's beautiful stuff. But BetMGM, friends, they are definitely a proponent of this program because, well, they're going to give you some great stuff. You're going to get that betting card for 2 months. You're also going to get up to $1,000 in bonus bets back if your first bet you make over there loses. Take advantage of these sportsbook offers. It's what I did when I started off in the industry. I just fired up everything that I possibly could at these so that I could build a bankroll, so I could sustain a bankroll through the hard times and the blue. That was a song. But either way, BetMGM, they're a great sportsbook. Check them out. Only if you're 21 and over. And if you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. We'll talk about them a little bit later too. But I'm just happy to be helping you again. It's helping me help you. Help me help you. It's been awesome. Jake Fraley went yard. That was hilarious. Anyway, we've got 8 games. It's going to be a quick one. Producer Jacob's sad about that. He really wanted 15, but whatever. I guess we'll just kind of break it down, shall we? Let's get down with our bad selves. To the picks we go, friends. We get our day kicked off with Atlanta and Philadelphia here. Bryce Elder and Taijuan Walker dueling, if you can call it that. Bryce Elder, not good. 44.4% hard hit percentage, 20.7% K rate. You face off against Philly with a lot of power. And with great power comes great responsibility. And I believe Bryce Elder will give that up to Kyle Schwarber, to Bryce Harper, and the likening. I'm going to be paying close attention to home run plays in this one. Wanted to throw that out from the get-go. Also going to be watching the weather, which was a definite concern here on Wednesday. I'm nervous that this might change up come Thursday here because right now we expect this to be an early morning Thursday. Now, Atlanta and Philadelphia play each other enough times that I think they could do without making this a doubleheader, but you could see these pitchers switched out. Just wanted to throw it out there. And if they do, you know what to do. Hit me up at Eric Lindquist on Twitter. I'll be happy to let you know. And the best place is, of course, the premium Discord, because then you get the betting card. You get access to me just about 24/7 on Sunday through Friday, much to my wife's chagrin. But we head to Taijuan Walker on the other side of this one. Not a great spot to be facing Atlanta neither. 111 WRC plus against righty pitching on the season. Do they have? And that just happening to Matt Olson, Ronald Acuna, Sean Murphy, Austin Riley, Marcell Ozuna, 535 expected slugging, 376 xWOBA now. It's bright red across the screen in my template for Atlanta because they're very good, and it's bright blue for Taijuan Walker, which sucks for him. A 20.6% K rate, a 327 xWOBA. Philadelphia bullpen, not my favorite thing in the entire world to be backing. Atlanta, they've got some pieces. But overall, guys, over 9. This is just an easy half unit like to get our day rolling. I repeat, be careful. You could be running into different starting pitchers, and I don't want you to come back to me and say, Eric, you know, Smith-Schuster or whatever. Juju Smith-Schuster. He's washed. Just throwing it out there before NFL season starts. We've got Atlanta and Philly over 9 going over at the City of Brotherly Love. To Arizona and Washington we go, and different situation, but same kind of interest level that I have in bats. We've got Mr. Tommy Henry. Tommy Henry, Thomas Shelby. Is Peaky Blinders coming back ever? I don't know. So I can do this accent for an entire bit. It's not a good one. Jake Irvin on the other side of this one. He's a righty there for Washington, and he's also not good. This is just another terrible pitching spot. The only difference between the previous one to this one, Arizona, decent enough pen to a certain extent. That's what happens when you're a winning baseball team. And Washington is in shambles. I think we know that by now. So Tommy Henry does reduce hard contact. 30.2% does the southpaw have. Only a 15.1% K rate. So you better give up soft contact when you're teeing off in these kind of spots. But there's enough righties. I'm shouting out Lane Thomas as somebody to keep an eye on constantly. Just can make things happen in that regard. Stone Garrett, I like a lot of his advanced metrics, even though just a 695 OPS does hit for average 262, not the worst thing in the entire world when you're a Washington National. And a 51.2% hard hit percentage. I think he's waiting to emerge. Waiting to fly, learning to fly. Got no wings. Coming down. Hardest thing. You don't care. Okay, I don't really care either. Jake Irvin, though, I miss Tom Petty. He's good people. Jake Irvin, 5.25 ERA, 1.61 whip. Nothing is good about those two marks on the surface. And underneath it, even worse, 357 xWOBA, 13.3% walk rate, 16.3% K rate. So he does everything Tommy Henry does, only just worse. And he's right-handed, so there's that too. Did you know Arizona's really good against right-handed pitching? I hope you did by now. 110 WRC plus. They have that Corbin Carroll character who it's really hard to make a dollar with in the marketplace. Pretty efficient lines, pretty juiced towards his overs. It's just hard. He's so good. He's so good. Why don't we just take an over of 9.5, shall we? I really like the overs in these first two games. Thought about locking a piece of it, but just make sure you're shopping for the best odds. FanDuel Sportsbook, the only one at 9.5 that has it at -110 right now across the entire marketplace. So want you to be aware this could move to 10 very, very quickly. Bet it now. Hey, my Minnesota Twins going up against Boston. Finally, we can get rid of them here at some point in time. No line in this one yet, but I think we know who we're looking at from Boston. We have Joe Ryan on the mound for Minnesota, our ace, our bona fide stud. The one guy who's not losing velocity like Sonny Gray, who hasn't been just beat up by BABIP like Pablo Lopez, but instead, Joe Ryan, the tried and true, 3.30 ERA, sub 1 whip. Yeah, you heard me, 0.97 whip. How you doing this evening? 247 xWOBA, like Joey Tribbiani, how you doing? It's good. 4.5% walk rate. Everything's great there. But looking at the AAA guys that could possibly get called up for this one, Brandon Walter was just promoted from AAA Worcester, and Brandon Walter is a 26-year-old lefty who is abysmal. A 6.28 ERA, 1.67 whip through 61 2/3 innings at AAA ball? What? Look, I know our twins, I'm trying to pawn them off to you too. I apologize. Minnesota sports fandom, it's the absolute worst thing a human being could ever do. It's like, we're not even going to go there. We're not even going to go there. I want to go there, but we're not. Minnesota, they're just not very good right now. The lineup configuration is brutal. You're going to neutralize the likes of Kepler and Kirilloff and Gallo. You do have Byron Buxton there. He's been really good against righties, though, and he's had a down year. 209 average, 741 OPS. Not what you would expect from your MVP caliber, one of the best players in baseball in 2022 caliber type players. We need Correa to start going. We need Royce Lewis to start going. We need somebody not named Will Castro and Michael Taylor to be in these lineups. Donovan Solano also been hitting the ball really, really hard. I don't quite understand these things, but I'm still going to be leaning on the Minnesota -1.5 side here, no matter what, mainly because without seeing these numbers, I can tell you ahead of time, you were just going to get Minnesota favored against X random pitcher from Boston. They don't really have anybody in the AAA circuit that's really standing out to me in any prominent way. And this guy is about the stone cold worst of what they have in AAA. So I'm not quite sure why he's getting the call up. Maybe he's got something on the GM. You never know. Be one of those spy shows we could do later. But either way, Minnesota -1.5, just a lean. More than likely, staying away from this game like the plague. Minnesota lineup not good. Pitcher on the other side not good. Joe Ryan really good. Books definitely know that. Battle of two southpaws, and I kind of like both. Kind of. We got Logan Allen going up against JP Sears, and it's weird to say you like anything from the Oakland side. I'm gonna rephrase this. I can tolerate JP Sears from time to time. I hated shopping at Sears, but there's no joke there. 477 expected slugging, 340 xWOBA. My God, that's not exactly ideal, but you do run into the 5% walk rate. That's nice. Sub 40% hard hit percentage, and extreme fly ball pitcher with a pretty good fastball. Doesn't really mix it together with anything. It's like me making eggs in the morning. It's just, here you go, honey. It is what it is. Actually, let's not kid ourselves. I can't cook. Logan Allen on the other side, though, 438 expected slugging, 263 expected batting average. I don't love those names, but again, those numbers, excuse me, not names. That's stupid with me. 22% K rate. We've seen some flashes from him. He was a pretty touted guy coming up from AAA here. Second rounder in 2020, made a quick ascension. Been here basically since the very beginning of the season, but does have a 3.95 ERA combined with a 4.55 expected ERA, 8.9% barrel percentage. There are at least some telltale signs. And the big problem I have here is that he's left-handed. This is very different than running into some issues like with the Williams character that we broke down and ended up pretty heavily backing there on Wednesday. But on Thursday here, you get this Oakland team, they've actually had a pulse against lefties, a 97 WRC plus, that is just about league average, and only a 22.8% K rate. So two southpaws, yeah, the Cleveland side, it's not like they're very good against lefties either. They're all the way down in the doldrums, but still feel as though this is a spot that we just have to be backing. Oakland on the run line, plus 1.5, but I'm just going to lean it for now. Similar to what we ran into Tuesday, I need to like take a shot of vodka, maybe go out with the boys, talk and hash out my feelings before I can actually click the Oakland button. It's a very hard button to click unless they just go to Oakland and they like storm the grounds with 27,000 people to protest. Then they're just undefeated, 1-0 on the season, but plus 1.5, just a lean for now. Friends, would you like my first lock on Thursday? Well, it comes in the form of BetMGM, and here's why. You're going to get massive deals from them no matter what. Yes, you heard me. 2 great deals for the price of literally whatever you want to deposit over at BetMGM. That is up to you. So $20, $50, $100, up to $1,000 in bonus bets that you'll get back on your first wager if it loses. So there's deal number 1. Pretty great stuff going on with them. But deal number 2 is pretty awesome too. You can jump into the premium Discord with myself, Eitan Shander, Ben Raza. You can see exactly what we are putting on our betting cards every single day. No strings attached, no lies, no bullshit. Throwing our card every single day, putting our money where our mouth is. As accountable in the industry as you're going to find any Discord, period, end of story. And it has been a hot last 3 weeks of June. I tell you what, it was unbelievably bad to start off the season. There was no qualms about it. Wasn't trying to run from it, but we have gone from the red to the green, and I cannot tell you how fun that has been along with this crew of people in that premium Discord. Not just the people who are subbing, but the people that I work with every single day, the Ben Rosses, the Eitan Shanders. Come hang out with us, see what all the fuss is about, and get it free for 2 months when you check out BetMGM. So 2 great deals for the price of whatever you feel comfortable wagering over at BetMGM. Only if you're 21 and over, and sign up in the video description box below. And if you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. Alrighty, y'all, halfway point. Let's get back to the picks. I like the way you do it like we got Blake Snell. What's happening? He's pitching well, going up against Alex Wood, and I hope you picked up the memo. Maybe this is part of it. We have been picking on Blake Snell. We have been making a lot of money. We stopped picking on Blake Snell like he was some kindergartner that, the mean kid little syndrome stuff that we all had. I don't know. I can't remember. I was always nice. I've always been a lovely individual. But now Blake Snell is on fire, and it's because we haven't been picking on him. The value really hasn't been there, and thank God it hasn't, because he has rattled off some starts, my friends. Listen to this. Going back to the 31st of May, his last start, 4 starts, he has given up 1 earned run in 4 starts. That's pretty good. But even better, he's given up at most 3 hits in any one of those individual outings. That's ridiculous. Oh, but it gets better. 7, 8, 12 and 12. Those are his strikeouts in his last 4 appearances. Yeah, we're building into 12 and 12. One was in Coors Field, and one was against the best offense in baseball, the Tampa Bay Rays. So riddle me that, Batman. I don't know. Thank God we didn't have to bet against him in either, any of those spots because, he had been atrocious to start off the season. But behind those starts, ERAs now dropped below 3.5, and we missed the losing skid. Sometimes, friends, the books do you a favor by not giving you value, because if it had been there, we would have tried to target him then still. And now we're starting to see the benefits of it. Maybe we just turn that little deal around and we end up betting him. Yeah, this is going to be the first time that I back Mr. Blake Snell all season long, mainly because the velocity's back, the spin is back, and the Ks have come with it. And he's going to be facing off against Ryan Walker? No, that's not correct. It's Alex Wood. It's got to be Alex Wood. Let me double check. Did it just change who's going to be pitching here? Because Ryan Walker was pitching on Wednesday, to my knowledge. Look at that. It is Alex Wood. I win whatever raffle it is for double checking my work. It's an important thing to do from time to time. We should all do it at our jobs. We should all be held accountable when we make mistakes, but also we should be able to learn from them. We should be able to have second chances, and we should back each other and smile as we head around in the world on a daily basis. We should also fucking bet baseball. It's really fun. 4.11 ERA for Alex Wood, 1.46 whip. Those aren't exactly the best numbers in all the land. Sure, no doubt about it. Padres underachieved, but they got Tatis and Soto at the top of this lineup. They're going to right the ship to a certain extent this season. And against lefties, that's where they've done their damage. 8th best in baseball, 111 WRC plus, and all the way up to a 196 ISO, which is 4th best in baseball. So the power is there. This is an afternoon game in San Francisco. So, the whole Mark Twain thing, the coldest summer I ever spent was a summer in San Francisco. Not in the afternoon. It'll be lovely for baseball. Think San Diego can get it done for us here. And yeah, we're going to be backing the same bullpen arms that trashed our lives on Tuesday. Otherwise, I would have been undefeated on Lindy's locks updates. Well, actually, I don't know the result of this Guardians game, so don't quote me on that. Friends, we are backing the money line on San Diego for a half unit. It's wild that they're the best team in baseball, the best offense in baseball, and yet we have yet to back a home run hitter or a hitter in general from this team in quite some time. We're talking about the Tampa Bay Rays, of course, right? They got the best pitcher on the entire slate going. Shane McClanahan. Hi, how are you doing? 27.2% K rate. Really love it. 299 XWOB, but love it too. But we got to go through a couple of things on the Kansas City side, and it's a little bit murky, and the value really isn't there because it's Shane McClanahan, and well, he's a minus 230 favorite at DraftKings Sportsbook. I can't do it. You parlay people, you're bolder than me. It's such a smash, obviously, but there's no value there. And Kansas City should be playing the bullpen game. They're going to be starting off with this lovely human being named Jose Cuas. He's got bright blue across my screen. And then they're going to turn it over to Austin Cox, presumably, who has had some pretty good results. But those are two guys who are not lengthened out at all. In fact, 34 pitches, the most in an appearance by Austin Cox. And that was 7 days ago. He also pitched 4 days ago. Those are a couple of problems that I have there. So Jose Cuas, not exactly going to be somebody that I want to be backing. And that creates an opportunity for our guy, Randy Arozarena, to hit the ball hard and far and long, against a couple of inferior bullpen arms. And that's really all Kansas City has. So there you go. 381 xWOBA, 488 expected slugging. Everything about Randy Arozarena has been coming up a roses for Arozarena. No, that wasn't good either. He's got 14 home runs on the season. I think he makes it 15, so put him on your betting card. Randy Arozarena going yard. It's got to be better than plus 340. Better than plus 340 or it doesn't make the card. We're going to Miami and the whole thing on Miami. I can't remember the words. You know those words to songs that you just kind of make up all the time? I used to do it with Rocket Man too. Just think it's gonna be a long, long time. What's the rest of the song? Da, 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 da. Nobody cares. Mitch Keller. We care about him. We care about betting. Braxton Garrett on the other side for the Marlins. And Mitch Keller. It's been tough. It's been a very tough backing of him of late. But I'm underselling this spot a little bit because this is where your lock is. So just kind of buckle down. Probably shouldn't have been silly to start it off. But Mitch Keller here on the mound, 3.62 ERA, 1.14 whip. That sounds lovely. But 4 of his last 5 starts have been brutality. We're talking 4 earned in at least every single one besides 1. So 4 of 5, 4 earned, 4 earned, 5 earned, and 6 earned. Are we running into the regression bug? Is he starting to come back down to earth? I just went through some of his hard hit data from those outings. I think he still looks okay. And based on that, going into the best pitcher's park you could possibly run into besides maybe San Francisco and then definitely Seattle, which is the best pitcher's park. But Miami, 3rd amongst pitchers, like where I would want my stud pitchers to be going and teeing it off. They're facing a Miami team that at least he's a right-handed pitcher because, again, 93 WRC plus. You get by Luis Arraez and his 400 batting average in life is pretty good for you. But Braxton Garrett, don't go sleeping on him. I know Pittsburgh has been a little bit surprising against lefties on the season, sitting with that close to 107 WRC plus? That's wild to see, but huge thing here. Got to pay attention to injuries, friends. Brian Reynolds, probably going to be out for this game. Andrew McCutchen got a maintenance day Wednesday, but sounds like there is a sore right elbow attached to him. So maybe he DHs, maybe he doesn't go out in the field, but there's also the possibility he sits here. And then you're looking at a lineup that could have Jack Sawinski forced into it left on left, and he cannot hit lefties in any way, shape, or form. Connor Joe, you could end up seeing a lefty in Ji-Hwan Bae have to get some service time here. That's a brutal configuration and not one that I would project out anywhere close to a 107 WRC plus. And Braxton Garrett, it hasn't been as good from him this season. Does have that 46.7% hard hit percentage, but he gets to pitch in Miami. He gets to be at home here. He gets to have a pretty decent defensive team behind him. Hopefully Garrett Hampson can play center field and roam out there. And then a 26.6% K rate with a sub 5% walk rate. Friends, 7.5 is the number, but it's juiced inside of -110 as I record this right now. It is your lock play. Lock button, friends. We're talking -105 at our sponsor, BetMGM. Best available line on the board for me right now. Lock it in. No runs going down in Miami. You can party on Friday. And the last game of the night, my God, woo, Kenny Woo. We got to do it again. Yes, Brian Woo on the mound going up against Seattle. A couple of you picked up on that. I appreciate you. You guys must have had the same upbringing I did in the good old Midwest. It's knucklepuck time. Yeah, you're right. Domingo Germán on the other side of this one for the Yankees. Sub 1.1 whip, 4.30 ERA though, and I've never, ever been enamored with him the same way the books have, and I get it. They absolutely torched Luis Castillo. Yeah, what in the world? That was the dumbest appearance that I've ever seen from Luis Castillo. It looked like he was trying to get hit by Billy McKinney. What are we doing? Billy the Kid? Why is he hitting the ball well all of the sudden? Dude had a sub 200 expected batting average last season and apparently just figured out how to do things. That is really, really dumb. But either way, we continue on our merry way. We talk about Brandon Woo, and Brandon Woo. That's a golf slip up. Brian Woo, my friends, 7.30 ERA, 1.30 whip. Doesn't sound like the numbers of somebody you want to back, right? Wrong. 37.7% K rate, torched up the White Sox the other time out, 9 Ks that he had there, and some pretty decent numbers that he had in AAA coming into this rotation at AA Arkansas. Then, it's a pretty big promotion here for Brian Woo, but part of it is this fastball is pretty good. 95, 96, slider changeup, not a ton of movement there, and the 12.9% barrel percentage, it's a limited sample size, but that's at least a little bit concerning. I just see a 38.5% whip percentage on the slider, 23.1% on the sinker, and a 32.3% whip percentage on his primary pitch, the fastball. That could be nasty against this Yankees team that I still have to be undervaluing compared to what the books are saying here. Seattle on the road, plus money. We're going to back this random pitcher against Domingo Germán simply because I refuse to believe Domingo Germán brings a whole lot to the table, and part of that is echoed by, the last couple of years of sample size. It started coming down, 434 expected slugging. Hopefully, these bats could get hot one time. Come on, Seattle, get it done for us. Just a half unit play to round out our day. And that does it for another edition of Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. You know what to do. Go to that comment section below. Let me know your favorite plays for this Thursday slate. Hopefully you got the best of it on Wednesday morning there. Hopefully Cleveland, by the time we record this, hopefully we have good news there. I don't know. We got the Oakland one through on Tuesday, and now we're running back Oakland Thursday, perhaps. It's going to be a wild, wild time, my friends. But either way, check out BetMGM. Check out all the great things we have going in that video description box below. If there's a book you don't have access to, I'm sure there's a deal for you sitting down there. Thank you to producer Jacob for yet another lovely day. 8 games, we're out of here pretty quick. I'll see you guys on Friday. Until then, friends, I'm Eric Lindquist. Best of luck in the MLB streets on Thursday.